energy of the Divine Mother, this feminine, whether we're male or female, this that is she, regardless of our gender. And so I want to read this poem. And it's called She. And as I read this, just allow yourself to fall in deeper than the words. Fall into the spaces between. She started off perfect, whole, genderless. Then the form folded, moulded, and became she, floating in her perfect world, in the womb of woman, surrounded by the warmth, the embrace and love of she. Birthed into the world, she was seen, acknowledged, recognized. Gender was seen, named in the world around. No longer was she seen as just herself. Yes, she was still perfect, whole, genderless. There was no sense of identity, no sense of conformity, just flesh and blood, bone and love. Yes, love, for that is who she is and was. Yet the world continued to pour into her the ideas of self, the ideas of she, the ideas of her, the ideas of woman. Struggling to be, these ideas took hold, even though she was still perfect, whole, genderless. She believed the lie that she was form, that she was identity, that she was now she. A life was grown, built, demolished, and grown and built again, time and time again. She found herself constructing her life, her roles, believing herself to be this idea, this one, this she, this her, this woman. Crashing again and again against the tide of what she knew herself to be. Always perfect, whole, genderless. The truth was never lost, just pushed into the background. Her heart whispered, "Hear me, know me, love me. Hear yourself, know yourself, love yourself." Her life kept reflecting love and pain, joy and hate, war and peace. What could she trust in the outward expression of she? At first she wanted to kick and scream, to rebel. She wanted to be this idea, this her, this she, this woman. Slowly she listened to her heart, to this love that was swooning within her. The ruthless voice of truth arose within. It showed her everything she was not, everything that was not her, everything that was not woman. She was still perfect, whole, genderless. She listened, she softened, she surrendered, and here she found herself, here all along, even though the wild ride of her life pointed to her as someone. She saw the truth, that her, she, woman was just an idea. She was still perfect, whole, genderless. Instead of an idea, she discovered that the whole of the universe was contained within her, created and birthed through her, lived here and now as her. She let the sacredness of life live her, be her, fill her, become her. Then her life became an offering of love, a dance of love, a tune of love. Her body became a temple of love. Every fold, moulded and curved, became the truth of her. Form or formless no longer defined her. This that she is, here and now, always had been and always will be, even after the last breath, breathed in and breathed out, this one that was seen, known and lived as she, always perfect, whole, genderless. we were preparing the different songs and chants on the flow of the evening, we both spoke about Rumi. And so the beautiful chant inspired by Rumi and this poem now inspired by Rumi. So this poem is based on Rumi's words. Never be without love, or you will be dead. Die with love and remain alive. What is alive but love? Love is life. This whole heart, this breath. Rumi says, never be without love, or you will be dead. How can I be without love? It is, I am. What is dead but this that would be believed is life? What is dead but this that is a lie? Rumi says, die with love and remain alive. Yes, die with love to love as love. Let all that seems not love die into itself and discover again and again what remains. The depths of love. What is alive but love? This single moment of love is the whole of eternity. Love is, it is, I am. So are we willing to die to love? Not to the idea of what we believe love is, but this that is unknown, this that is discovered freshly every moment. Are we willing to die to this again and again and again, so that we live with love as love?
Sana Yes, we've had some more inquiry.
No, you know what's here is that it's in here somewhere, but it's something like, why speak unless our words are more beautiful than silence? So we have sound and we have the silence and the beauty of both, and we often resist one or the other. But this beauty that's here in the silence, this love. So I think onward. So since there are no questions, is there a report? Something to be.
I'm still feeling into what stops, what blocks, what stops.
Yeah. Is there something?
There definitely is. It's just hard. I think it's fear.
Fear.
Of heartbreak, of grief, it stops me from fully dropping into being love.
So the thing is, in our human form, we're going to experience this. We're going to experience heartbreak and grief. So are we going to keep our hearts closed, keeping love out, keeping life out, because we don't want that experience? So it's almost like saying, are we never going to walk around because we might stub our toe? Really, it's the same. It just sounds different. And so are we willing to open to the fear of the unknown, because it's pretty likely we're not going to stub our toe. And if we do, we can open to that. So do we walk around in fear of that? That we're going to stub our toe? Because really we have to get the simplicity of this. See, the mind goes, yes, but that's different. It's no different to love. It's no different to life.
I think I'm some of the way there. I like to think that I live my life letting my heart break.
Yeah.
again and again and again,
Yeah.
but then there is some resistance there, and I've been feeling tonight while we've been going through this process, what is it? What is the resistance? And the resistance is fear.
Fear.
That last bit of not dying to love,
Yeah,
that last
yeah.
bit of letting my heart break fully, just...
And what if it's not the last bit? What if it's just again and again and again? This fear is this doorway. That it's the only bit. So I have a poem.
I just so happen to have a poem.
So when Mukti and I spoke about this evening, and she said, what about reading some of your poetry from my book? But there's all this new poetry for the new book, so you're getting all the new poetry. So it starts off with, often we imagine that love is a feeling, that love is nice, that love will let us off the hook, that to be free we won't have to feel. Love's hand will lead us. She has her own ideas, if we will but trust and follow her lead. Are you willing? Love's hand. Stop, she says. No, I'm busy. Stop, she says. No, I can't. Stop, she says. No, I don't want to. Yes, she says, I know. But for the truth, you are willing. So yes, I stop. With stopping comes the unbearable. The pain, heartbreak, comes like an unexpected, unwelcome visitor, one who is uninvited, demanding to stay, demanding attention, demanding notice. Who wants to go there? Down into the pit, where it doesn't feel like love, doesn't feel real, doesn't feel like this bleakness will end. Even when you're spent, when there is nothing more to give, nothing left, still demanding more as the chest heaves and aches, the fingers of unbearable hurt, pain, despair, agony, clawing at the chest, clawing at the breath, clawing at your very life, wanting still more. Like a wild animal that won't be subdued, won't be silenced, until you give every last drop of your blood, your breath, your life. And then, in that instant, there is light, weightless. The heart beats, the lungs breathe. The life that is here filled with the glowing pulse of freedom, untainted, slowly unfurling, glowing, a smile comes. How could have anything have seemed so bleak when it was love's hand all along, clawing you back into herself so she can claim you fully, finally. Yes, I surrender. I am hers and she is mine, as we have been all along. So this poem was written, just so you know this poem was written, this is the one that I speak about, when I was making the bed and I was tucking in the bed and I could feel something, and that stop, she says. No, I'm busy. Stop, she says. No, I'm tucking the bed. No, I don't have time. No, I don't want to. Yes, of course I do. So the heartbreak, it comes. And then We discover again and again this love, the depth of this love that fear can't touch. Yeah. Beautiful, darling. Thank you for sharing that. And then nothing is in the way. Does anyone else have anything to share or add, or question or a report?
I was reflecting before, and two things came to me. One was fear, so you've handled that one. You haven't handled it, not for me. But fear came up, and the other word, the feeling was habit. Like this habit, and sometimes I feel it really in the back of my heart, like it's got so habitual sometimes that the physical body contracts, and that stops the love. It's like it's strong, and so I'm kind of constantly going back and unraveling it. But there's almost like a pattern or a habit, a protection.
Yeah.
Protection.
Yeah.
That will
So
kind of
what's behind that habit?
Well, probably
When you just stop, like if you felt, yeah, because see, we go straight to the mind, don't we? But if we just stop and we check what's really behind that habit, because you said you thought it's fear, but who knows? We can check. What do you sense behind that habit of protection?
Yeah, avoidance.
Avoidance.
Yeah, so avoiding pain. Avoiding pain. Discomfort.
Yeah. So if we totally avoided discomfort, we wouldn't be in the world. You know, to be birthed from the womb of mother, huge discomfort, both for the baby and the mother. See, we think it's just the mother, both are squeezed. Yeah, to take that first breath. Pain of the air in the lungs, huge discomfort. So, you know this. Why would we avoid discomfort when it's given us life in form? And then this habit is just that red flag. It's just the reminder to check, do I need to protect? Not, oh, there's something wrong and I have to open. Do I need to protect? And to just soften here. And you get to check and speak the truth, because maybe you do and maybe you don't. So in this moment, what do you notice?
Around
in
my body?
Yeah.
A surrendering, a softening.
Yeah.
And this idea I have choice.
Yes. Yeah.
I have conscious choice as to all this, rather than just fully open and all the time.
So we think this is wrong, the way our form reacts, but it just reacts. And then we can see it's the red flag, and we can check, is it truthful? Is the reaction truthful? What's it pointing to? Softening, surrender, that's all. So there's no force, for all of us, no force to have to open, to have to soften. Like really, to have to soften, to have to. It's like that, to have to surrender. See, it doesn't make sense. So that's what the trick of the mind says that. But you just get to notice, oh, sweetly, this protection. Is it necessary? Oh, yes, yes. So then we don't need to resist that closure. We can just open to the closure. You see how sweet that is?
Yeah.
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 Mm.
That's a really different relationship to
Yes.
to what's happening.
Yeah, yeah, beautiful.
Oh Thank you everyone for being here tonight. Thank you, Yantra-ji, for welcoming us in your space, and Richard and Indy, in your beautiful temple here.
Thank you so much for coming.